Hello guys, and welcome back to another one with us, the Review Bros. And today we've got an exciting one because we're going to be taking a look at the latest Rect pre-workout by the guys over at Huge Supplements. I don't even know what version this is. It could be 3, 4, 5 at this point. I know they've done a good few of them and they've always tested well because they're very well thought out stacked formulas. So how will this one fare as we cover the usuals, the taste, price, label and effects all coming at you? Could it be your next pre-workout? And if you are new to the channel, please do hit the like button, hit the sub button, tick the bell icon. So we try and put out about 3 reviews a week, but today, let's get wrecked. So, first segment of any review, taste and mixability, and we're going to be trying out watermelon flavour. They did also send us down their blue raspberry, I believe, but obviously giving this one a run for the sake of today's review, and I'll chuck up any other flavours on the screen. So, mixability, it's a big old 37 gram serving amount. So, mixability, surprisingly, all things considered, actually isn't too bad, at least looking at it. Although it is very opaque in the glass, there is a lot in there, but let's see how it tastes anyway. So it definitely is a very nice sweet watermelon flavour. It's very thick consistency though, so that does kind of obscure the flavour to a degree. But flavour alone, it's a nice innocent tasting watermelon. It's not sour, it's not a candy tasting one, it's more going down the natural route. I will say, however, when it concerns watermelon specifically, I'm not the biggest fan, and I do generally prefer candy watermelon rather than a more natural tasting. However, having said that, I do think they've done a good job for what flavour they're going for. So I'll have one more sip and then I'll try and give you a score out of 10. So keeping an open mind, trying to remove my own personal bias with the fact that I don't really like watermelon, I would give it, as watermelon flavours go, I'd give it a solid 8 out of 10. Like, I think they've done a good job. There's no nastiness coming from the back end. I think the only thing that you could really rate it down on is how thick and chalky, I guess you could say it is, but when we get into the ingredients panel, it'll become very evident as to why. But then again, you just drink it and you get down the gym. It is just a pre-workout. We're not meant to be sipping on it. But nonetheless, 8 out of 10 is a good score. All the other flavours sound nice, so let's move into price. So, price time. How much do you have to pay to pick up the latest formula of Rect? Well, you head over to the official website, hugesupplements.com, where you can use our 10% discount code RB10. You can pick up this 20 serving tub for $44.96 or $2.25 per the serving. Now, if you do a straight translation over into UK pounds per the serve, it comes to £1.78. Now, you may or may not be aware, but we do have a consistent pricing scale on the channel that we use to measure how expensive pre-workouts are and work out if they're a bargain, if they're a rip-off, or somewhere in between. Now, a 5 out of 10 on that scale is obviously the bang average price point. This comes in at a 4.5 out of 10, so it's only slightly more expensive than a typical price point of pre-workouts on the market. But I will tell you, we're getting a lot more pre-workout than a slightly above average price point. I'll tell you that for free. Also guys, just whilst I think of it, obviously it's Black Friday currently, so there's massive discounts going all over the place, and it's no different here. So do go over to the Huge Supplements website, have a look, because when I was drawing up the price, I see a bunch of products on there with decent discounts. So if you are in the market to top up your supplement cupboard, there couldn't be a better time to do it. And I believe our discount code still works on top of the existing discounts that you might get from Black Friday. So like I say, the time is now, if that sounds right for you. So let's get into the label. What exactly are we getting in the newest formula of Rect? And it's a massive 37.4 gram serving amount. So you see what I mean? You're paying slightly above the average price point, and straight away you're getting over double the serving amount of what you see in your typical pre-workout in terms of the actives and the actual ingredients in it. So anyway, let's get into it. So first up, we've got L-citrulline at 10 grams, which is up there with probably the highest dose you're going to see in any pre-workout, straight up. I think we might have seen 11 grams once, but to be honest with you, 10 grams, more than enough. You're going to be getting every last drop of benefit that you can get out of the ingredient of that dose. You normally only see 4, 5, 6 grams of the stuff, so they've gone double here. So you will notice a trend with this pre-workout where it's kind of like, it's almost overdosed to the point where you could take half the serving and still get a decent experience. Obviously more on that in the effects, but anyway, L-citrulline amino acid is going to bump up your nitric oxide levels, increasing blood flow, increasing nutrient delivery, and getting that pump on. Love to see it, and that is a mega dose. Beta-alanine at 6.4 grams. See what I'm saying, guys? Double what we would typically see, 3.2. Amino acid gives you that itchy, tingly sensation when it kicks in, but it's in pre-workouts because it helps with your endurance when it builds up in your system and you reach that saturation point. You do have to take it daily to obviously do that. Similar to creatine in that sense. Then we've got betaine anhydrous at 5 grams. No, I didn't stutter. Again, twice the norm. Wowzers. Jack of all trades style ingredient that helps with your pumps, power, athletic performance in the gym. It's a good staple ingredient to see in pre's, and we love it here. Then we move down to L-tyrosine at 5 grams. I don't even know what to say. Unreal. You normally only see a gram or two of this ingredient, so they've gone above and beyond on this one. Mega dosages left, right and centre here. Actually, I'm just thinking about it as I'm talking out loud. It's incredible they've got the price point where they have. But anyway, I won't go off on that anymore. 5 grams of L-tyrosine. It's an amino acid that helps with your focus, concentration and mood. Love to see it. It's one of many nootropics that we've got coming up. Then we've got L-taurine at 3 grams. Again, you only normally see a gram or two. So we really are going absolutely above and beyond here. You could strongly make an argument for this pre-workout being 40 serving tub, not 20, because the dosages are twice clinical. Okay, so taurine, another jack of all trades, and that's going to help with your hydration and pumps, your energy production, your cognitive function. It ties into a lot of different things. Then we've got agmatine sulfate at 1500 milligrams. Lovely dose. It's actually the first ingredient so far that we've seen at a kind of normal, well, a decent dose, but not crazy. So that's going to help, again, pairing up with the L-citrulline to help to bump up your nitric oxide levels, leading to, of course, more blood flow and more pump. And it's also been shown to help pumps last even longer than normal, so you should remain pumped for quite a long time after your gym session, we do hope. Then we've got alpha GPC, 50% at a gram. Again, another wild dose. Very, very rarely see it this dose this highly. You normally only see 600 milligrams of the stuff. They've gone in at a gram. Again, basically twice the normal. That seems to be the trend through most of this entire label, to be honest with you. But again, another nootropic, so it's going to help with your focus, concentration, drive, athletic performance, and obviously you deplete your choline levels when you're training. So we're getting an initial top up of the ingredient in here. Then we've got caffeine anhydrous at 300 milligrams, which is a very nice sweet spot dose. At least I think so anyway. It's a nice daily driver amount in that you can get away with taking it daily. It's about 3 cups of coffee worth of caffeine, a couple of energy drinks worth. So it's going to be that main stimulant that wakes you up and gets you moving. Then we've got theobromine, 98% HCl at 200 milligrams. Really nice dose again. That's going to provide more stimulation, more mood boosting benefits, and even play into some pump element as well. So nice. Then we got decaffeine malate, 75% at 100 milligrams, yielding an additional 75 milligrams of caffeine. So obviously topping up the total to 375. However, this is different to the aforementioned caffeine because this one is slow release. So basically when the caffeine anhydrous starts to wear off through your training session, the decaffeine malate will start to digest and come through and have effect towards the latter end of your gym session to prevent any kind of crash and just basically see you through to the end of your session. Then we've got bioperine at 10 milligrams, nice dose there, again pretty much double the norm. Typically only see about 5 milligrams. That's in here to help with the digestion of all the ingredients in this panel, so it's going to help get them through you as quickly and efficiently as possible for your gym session. Love to see it. Then we've got Rolfia vomitora extract, aka alpha-himbine, 98% at 1 milligram. Love that dose, absolutely love it. And the reason I love that dose is because when you go above and beyond sort of like, when you start getting into the 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3 milligram dosages of alpha-himbine, it starts to yield a bunch of negative effects. And if you've used the ingredient, you'll know exactly what I mean. You get like a nervousness, a jittery feeling, unsettledness, even like a sort of salivary mouth, your nose is running. You basically feel like you've got a cold. Some people love that though, I will say. But for me, it's not my cup of tea. So 1 milligram is a great dose because it avoids most, if not all, of those negative effects. And what you do instead get is just the benefit of the ingredient. Well, the benefit of what you'd primarily want to use it for, I suppose, in a pre-workout context, and that is energy and alertness to actually get you moving and get you revved up. So you'll get that nice buzzy feeling from it without the slew of negatives that I've mentioned. Then we wrap off with huperzine A at 300 micrograms. Again, another fantastic dose, the learning chemical. It's going to keep you focused, dialed in, improve your memory, concentration in the gym. Absolutely love this formula. You will notice that they've taken Urea Drensis out. Yep, I'll put my hands up and admit that. That is, you can view it one of two ways. Yeah, obviously it is sad because we love that ingredient. They've taken it out. It's the way, but unfortunately it's the way the world's going. They're cracking down on all these illicit ingredients and companies are having to remove them. However, what I will say is even though they have lost the Urea Drensis, the label still looks absolutely fantastic and it's hard to be mad at them when it's not their fault. Huge supplements are basically just reacting to the way the world's going. They're not choosing to take out ingredients that people love just for the sake of it, just for fun and games. So, you know, we have to kind of redirect our anger towards the FDA, I suppose. But anyway, if anything, it's going to make it more of a suitable daily driver pre-workout, or at least closer to being one than it was with the Urea Drensis. But anyway, let's get into the real world effects of Rect. So, real world effects of Rect pre-workout, the latest version in the several times we've used it. So what do we think? And we'll start off at the beginning, like we always do, with the beta-alanine, because that's generally the first thing you feel, and it's no different here. So it's in there at 6.4 grams, absolutely whopping. It's extremely rare to see it at that dose in pre-workout, so let's just put that out there. So it goes without saying almost 10 out of 10 on the itchy, tingly scale. You know, if you like that feeling, you're going to love it here. If you're not a fan, probably not the best pre-workout to take. And if you do still want to buy this, regardless of that, you'll probably have to take a quarter of a scoop to avoid it. So something to be aware of. But for myself, I like the beta-alanine feeling, at least if I'm in the mood for it. If it's one of those days and I fancy it, it's brilliant. It gets you moving, doesn't it? It sets the scene for that sense of urgency and gets you down the gym. Now what comes in very shortly after that is the caffeine, stimulants and nootropics. I would say 30 to 40 minutes after drinking the pre-workout, it's basically firing on all cylinders at that point. You feel alert, you feel ready to get rocking and rolling. Now let's start off with the energy of all the things we talk about in these reviews. So the energy is an interesting one because it feels like, or it's sort of sitting between a very strong daily driver. So you got daily driver realm, you got the high stim junkie realm. This is sitting just outside of the edge of daily driver. So it's in that grey area in between. So what I would say is you probably could get away with using it most days. However, I wouldn't necessarily want to take it every day, at least not at the full scoop. Partly because you are getting some other bits and pieces in it, namely the alpha-himbind that you might not want to take every day. So for me, this is actually my favourite type of pre-workout. It's not a completely boring, normal daily driver with nothing exciting about it, but it's also not going to blow your socks off and leave you in a bad way. It's sort of sitting in that sweet spot, as I like to say, where it's enjoyable, it's fun, but it's also productive and it doesn't ruin your day. So the energy levels, I would say, are spot on for my personal needs anyway. I would say they lasted a good few hours. There's no jitters, peaks, troughs, crash, nothing nasty attached to it. And you can get on with the rest of your day when you finish taking it. However, having said that, I still wouldn't risk taking it too close to bedtime because yes, whilst it's not ridiculously stim heavy, you are still taking in 375 milligrams of caffeine, a milligram of alpha yo, and not to mention the whopping dosages of the nootropics that are in here that really do fire the brain up and ultimately make the stimulants feel even stronger than they actually are, because it's like it's adding another element to it. Think of it like caffeine's your rifle, and then you've got the attachments on your rifle, you know, your ACOG sight, your laser sight, your extended mag, the stock. All those bits and pieces I would describe as the nootropics. They don't make the rifle, but they fortify it. They make it more effective. And that's the same here with the nootropics. So it feels a lot stronger than it actually is. That could be a good or a bad thing. But for me, it was so nice. Absolutely spot on energy. And that actually segues me nicely into the next thing we look at, which is the focus. The focus is also fantastic, guys, and you can probably tell how much I love this pre-workout just talking about it. It feels healthy, productive, you feel switched on, dialed in, happy. You don't feel illicit, you know, you're not off your head floating around. You're very much aware that it's an all above board pre-workout. There's no craziness concerned with it. So yeah, don't take it thinking that it's going to send you to the moon up with some of these other crazy illicit pre-workouts are on the market. The way it all comes together, it just gets your mindset absolutely spot on for a gym session. Like I say, you just feel locked in, you feel happy to train, you're happy to be there, And that actually leads me nicely into the final part we look at, the pumps, which make you even more happy on top of the nootropics, because I'm really struggling to actually say what element is best about this pre-workout, because they're all singing, all dancing, essentially, and the pumps are no different. I would say this is what I mean, guys. I'm struggling to put it into words as to how good this pre-workout is, and it's going to come off cheesy or biased or whatever, and I don't care at this point. I know that it's a good pre-workout. The pumps are insanely good. I got pumped after my first exercise, I think I did. Most recently used it for shoulders, done a bit of shoulder press, couple of lat raises, skin splitting pumps. It was nasty. It made the sets a lot more painful, which if you're a bit of a sicko like me, you'll enjoy that fact whilst you're training, because it means you're hitting the muscle, you're getting the nutrients in there, and ultimately you're doing damage and making gains, right? So yeah, it's not got any holes in it, guys. Honestly, there's no negatives with this pre-workout. The alpha-himbine dose was perfect, actually, whilst I'm on that note. There's no negatives attached to it. You just got the nice buzzy kind of feeling from it. Yeah, I really can't say a damn bad thing about it. And to wrap it off with a little bow tie on top, what I can also say is it's an incredibly good deal for the price. Like, to the point where I would almost question how they've managed to get it priced so well. And if you can get it with a Black Friday deal, you'll be absolutely laughing your way to the bank, because you'll be getting it so much cheaper than what they could sell it for. To answer the question regarding the Aria Durensis, do I miss it? The answer is straight up no. The reason, yes, factually, it's not in there. So you would naturally be like, oh, what? It's not, but you don't notice it. And I think, I do like Aria Durensis, of course I do. But I do think it is overrated a little bit. Like, it is a very mild stimulant. I've taken it as a standalone product. It has effect, don't get me wrong, but it's not this crazy thing that some people think it is. So you don't actually notice it being missing here. And if you don't believe me, if you do get hold of this one, take this one and then take the old one back to back and tell me if you notice any actual tangible difference in the focus or the energy. And I will bet that you won't. So yeah, guys, I can absolutely recommend it. I would say if you're in the market for a pre-workout that sort of pushes the limits of a daily driver and sort of is in that sweet spot, grey area around between what you could take daily and what you would take a few times a week, that's ticking all the boxes that you want, from pumps to power to energy to focus, with no negative and a fantastic bargain, then this is the pre-workout for you. Do I need to sell it any more than that at this point? Hopefully not. But yeah, guys, if you've used it, let me know down below what you thought. Anything else you want to see us review on the channel, let us know. And as always, stay stimmed, and you damn well will.